So here's a bunch of questions that I've kind of found for you for extra practice, okay? Every one of these is going to be a PSA 2. And how do you know they're going to be a PSA 2? Well, try to GCF every single one of these first, and I'll prove to you that you have a PSA 2 on your hands. Try this one. Look, divide it by 2. You can't. No way. PSA 2, right? Look at this one. Try to get rid of that 3. You can't. PSA 2. I'm not going to show you the other ones. Just go along with it. They're all PSA 2s. Let's start solving. Okay, PSA 2 means you take the front one and you take the back one and you multiply them together because we're using PSA 2, which is a method of decomposition. Okay, 2 times 6, that's 12. You're going to add that up to 7. Two numbers that work? Simple, 3 and 4. Look at that, 3 plus 4. But remember, they can't go directly into our answer yet. You have to expand this and then decompose it, which means group factoring it. So here we go. 2x squared. Remember, that is now this, right? Plus 3x plus 4x plus 6. Group factoring it, real simple now. Take these two guys and these two guys and find the GCF in that. So in fact, you're still using a lot of the GCF idea. Take out an x, gives you 2x plus 3, plus out of here you can take out a 2, leaving you with, again, a 2x plus 3. And look how pretty this is. There's your 2x plus 3. That is exactly the same. Again, if those two are not the same, go back and check these numbers. That tells you you've done something wrong. All right, so here we go. Take the 2x plus 3 out. So that means this guy's gone and this guy's gone, leaving you with an x plus 2 remaining. Perfect, excellent. Now, solving this, make it equal to 0. But you know what? At this point in time, I want you to be able to look at a question and be able to solve it without actually having to do the algebra. Now, this is not to say that you don't have to do the algebra. You can go out and take a scrap piece of paper at this point and find 2x plus 3 equals to 0 and find x. But I think at this point, your algebra skills are good enough to just be able to look at each one of these independently and say, yes, x equals 2, da-da. How do you do that? Well, think in your head. First things first. What do? You got to get rid of this 3 by subtracting 3 from both sides. And then this is a multiply by 2, which means, guess what? You're going to divide by 2. So subtract the 3 from both sides gives you a minus 3. Dividing by 2? Yep, there you go. Minus 3 over 2. Done. Same thing goes with this one. Watch again. This is x equals 2. What are you going to do to get rid of this 2? You're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So there we go. There's your answer. Bada boom. You got two answers. Minus 3 over 2 and minus 2. Those are your solutions. So see if you can do this in your head. But if you can't do it in your head, if you're one of those people who say, hey, forget that noise, I'm not going to do that, I need to do pen and paper, well, guess what? There's no fault in that. Go out and pull out a pen and paper and do it. Go for it. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. Let's go to the next question and see if we can do these at a fairly good speed here. Okay, again, like I mentioned, PSA 2, multiply those guys together. So here's my PSA, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. 3 times minus 8 is, of course, minus 24, and it has to add up to minus 2. I'll give you the values for this. That's minus 6 and 4. How do I know? Because 6 and 4 are pretty close together, and that's where I got a minus 2 from here. Okay, and then add them together, minus 6 plus 4. Of course, cannot put the answer until you decompose. So there we go, 3x squared minus 6x plus 4x minus 8. Start group factoring that. Look how pretty this is. Oh, so cute. Look at this. 3x. Take a 3x out of both of those, leaving you with an x minus 2. And look what you can take out of this. You can take a 4 out, leaving you with an x minus 2. And guess what? Yup, they match. So here we go. X minus 2. And that's gone, leaving you with a 3x plus 4 here. Okay? Now, try again. Inspection, just looking at it, see if you can tell me, being that they equal to 0, tell me what the x values are. In this one, x value is going to be 2, and the x value for this is going to be negative 4/3. All right, on to question number 3. Look at this one. Woo! This one's really cute too. Holy moly. Watch this. PSA 2. Okay. PSA. There it is. The product here now is 12. Sum here now is -8. But in order to have a negative here and this to be positive, both these values have to be negative. How do I know? Watch. -6 times -2 gives you a positive 12. But when you add them together, they give you a -8. And again, you can't do the answer until you do the decomposition method. So 12x squared minus 6x, because these guys, remember, replace that guy. Minus 6x minus 2x plus 1. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of an issue here, and let me show you what that is in a second. Here you can take out a 6x, leaving you with a 2x minus 1. But look at this guy. This is a minus. This guy's a plus. So that tells you right away you have to take out a negative. But it's already 2x plus 1 or 2x minus 1. Well, wait a second. If you just take out a -1, right, because everything's divisible by 1, take out a -1, that just changes the signs of everything. Ha-ha! Beautiful. So now they match. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 it is. Those guys are gone, leaving you with a 6x minus 1. Let that equal to 0, and look what you can do with that. Again, by inspection, right, x equals to 1/2, and x equals to 1/6. Okay? Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right. So let's go over to question number 4 here. Number 4 is a bit of a poser, because one of the things I want you to notice here in question number 4 is that this x squared is negative. Well, you know what? Negative 2x squared minus 7x. I'm going to draw this, or I should say write this out properly. But one of the things I want to show you here is if you do PSA 2 on this. I'm going to do this twice, actually. I'm going to do PSA 2 on this twice. Watch what happens. We multiply these guys together. Your PSA is going to be -30. And then this would have to be -7. The two numbers that work here, of course, are -10 and +3. So -10 plus +3, and then we're going to go through all the motions for this. So let me get rid of this stuff on the side here, because I need more room. And check this out. Here we go. Minus 2x squared minus 10x plus 3x plus 15. Group factor it. Here it is. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. I have to take a minus 2x out, leaving me with an x plus 5. And check this out. If I take a 3 out, that leaves me with an x plus 5 here. Okay, this leaves me with an x plus 5 and a minus 2x plus 3, right? So far, nothing weird, leaving me with an x equals to -5 here and an x equals to 3/2 here. That's my answer. Now I want to show you something really, really, really cool. Okay, watch this. Notice how I left this one here as minus 2x squared minus 7x plus 15. I'm going to just get rid of this part here for a second here, just to show you something neat. Okay, watch. You know and I know that this thing equals to 0. Wouldn't it be great to just get rid of this negative entirely and making it a positive trinomial? And that makes factoring a whole heck of a lot easier, doesn't it? Well, we can't, actually. We can multiply this guy by -1. And what we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side. So I multiply this by -1. So that changes the sign of every single one of these. This 2x squared now becomes plus 7x, and this becomes now minus 15, but this still stays 0. And I know what you're saying. Well, isn't that fundamentally changing the parabola? Because after all, this being a -2 means that it's opening down, and this being a positive 2 means that it's opening up. Yes, it does. But I want to show you something really, really cool. I want to show you something so cool it's going to just absolutely frost your biscuit. Okay, watch this. Product is still, look at that, still minus 30, just like the product was back for this one here. Okay, now the sum happens to be positive 7 this time. Which means that the numbers here are 10 and minus 3, right? Those are your numbers that you're going to use, 10 and minus 3. So watch what happens. 2x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 15 equals to 0. Group factor this, leaving you with a 2x here, leaving you an x plus 5. Interesting. Now with this one, you have to take out a negative 3, leaving you with an x plus 5, right? And then we're just going to move this other guy out of the way right away. Hold on. Almost got it. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And watch this. You can take the x plus 5 out, right? And a 2x minus 3. Now, let me show you something really neat. This guy and this guy are the same, but we have an issue with this, don't we? Or do we? Wait, let that equal to 0. This one for sure is going to give us an x equals to minus 5. That and that work. But how about this guy? Watch. 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Bring the 3 over, right? Divide by 2. Look at this. You get positive 3 over 2, which is exactly what I got there. Isn't that wild how math works? It is so incredibly cool that it doesn't matter if you take the negative out, you end up getting the same answer. Now you're probably saying, why does that happen? Because one originally was opening down. Well, guess what? This one is now opening up, but the answers are the same point. And remember what you're looking for. You're looking for x-intercepts. All right, I would strongly suggest you go out and graph that, and you'll actually see that those numbers work. Okay, last question. Let's hurry up on this now. Okay, here we go. PSA 2. Right, front and back, 2 times negative 35 works out to be negative 70, and you want an answer of negative 3. So this, of course, is going to be negative 10 times 7, because negative 10 plus 7 works out to be the negative 3. So here we go, 2n squared. Now remember, you're replacing this guy, so it's an nm kind of idea. So this is minus 10n m plus 7n m, that's a mouthful, plus, and I think that's 35, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, minus 35. Minus 35 m squared. Just barely got it in there. Okay, so combine, or there, factor out a 2n from here, giving you an n minus 5m. From here, you can take out a 7m, leaving you with an n minus 5m. Holy smokes. And then those match, n minus 5m, and this is now a 2n plus 7m. There's your 2 factors, but it says solve for n. So we need a little bit more room here to finish this question off. Let this equal to 0. This is n minus 5m equals to 0. Bring the 5m over. There you go. And same thing with this one over here. Bring the m over by subtracting 7m from both sides. Oh my goodness, this is becoming a mouthful. And dividing by 2. So you got an n equals to negative 7 over 2m. There's your 2 answers. I know this is a long podcast of 14 minutes here, but a real nice one with a whole bunch of questions that you can play around with.